Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21, and it is now time for round 3 of our MotoGP Championship, and it is time for the Portuguese GP of the Algarve International Circuit. So here we are then, Pecco Bagnaia on the pole position with Quartararo and Zarco on the front row, Rins, Oliveira, Miller on the second, Espargaro, Mir, Martin, Vinales, Petrucci, Nakagami, Binder, Marquez, Grant, Morbidelli, Rossi, Leccarone, Marini, Savadori and Enea, Bastianini at the back of the grid. So looking to the red lights, we will await the moment we can finally bring on the acceleration and we can go. So power to the max, bring on the acceleration and see if we can get it into the first corner without either crashing and hopefully taking a few additional positions. So going into turn 1 for the Primera corner, getting a little bit bumpy there, got pushed wide a little bit from one of the Red Bull KTMs. I do believe that was Brad Binder. So we'll now try and position ourselves in a good spot here to get through on a couple of riders, and that's a good manoeuvre if I ever did see one. Up into 12th position already, and now onto the cusp of getting through on Aleix Espargaro, our former teammate of course, with another Espargaro to the left hand side, as we now go into the Tour VIP for the very first time of asking, going around the outside of Danilo Petrucci. Not going to work there, unfortunately. Did lose a little bit of time as Jorge Martin and Grant had a little bit of contact going into the left hander there, just briefly, as we now enter turn 7 and now into the right hander for Samsung, as Aleix Espargaro looks to be feinting a move up at the inside of the Yamaha man, not quite going for it just yet, but you never know if he's going to go for a lunge at any particular point. So not the best of starts, but we have made a better start than what I was sort of hoping for, because it is difficult into turn 1, it really is. I think we had an incredible start here last season in this Grand Prix, or maybe even the season before, but this one so far, not bad. As we line up and now into going up the inside, Jorge Martin, a little bit aggressive, pushing the Spaniard wide. We do take over the 11th place, going into Sagres now for 14, up into 11th with the top 10 still in reach as of yet. But now onto the right hand side for the Galp, turn 15, keeping it nice and smooth here, nice and trim, keeping it a little bit too tight. Did not want to go too tight because unfortunately touch the grass there, you do slow down, but power setting 3 wasn't able. I'm going to drop it down to 2 now because I do find that my braking zone is a little bit better with power setting 2. Tend to go a little bit too wide for the third power setting, but now we're into Primera corner, still in 11th position, but 2.5 seconds down from teammate Fabio Quartararo, who's had a great start to the season so far. Of course, the bang in Qatar 1, taking the Grand Prix victory, of course, was crucial for the Frenchman in the lead right now. So the second time going into the Tour VIP, we are closing in on the Tech 3 KTM rider there, Danilo Petrucci, sadly no longer with us in MotoGP, but of course still a fantastic rider, and especially even in the video game as well. But into turn 7, waiting for a possible opportunity to go into Samsung onto the rear of Danilo Petrucci and hopefully keep the front end down. Just a little bit of a wheelie then, just another little bit more, but going into the next couple of corners, especially into Portimao, I do feel I can gain a little bit of time on the riders ahead of us as we slow it in nicely to the right hand side. We're still in the same position, but we aren't losing time. We've actually gained about 0.2 of a second, not only on Petrucci, but Quartararo in the lead as well. But now onto the left hand side for 13, Sagres coming up in a moment for turn 14. We'll have a chance of just slowing it in a little bit and backing it into the corner to have a little lunge on Petrucci as soon as possible. But I see Petrucci's probably going to get past on Maverick Vinales as well. Vinales is struggling somewhat, falling back through the order just a little bit. But onto the right now, power setting 2 still applied. Do we swap it to 3? Do we leave it as is? It's a tough decision. I always find that sticking to the same power setting does help with your consistency rather than swapping them between each other quite a lot. But Petrucci is about to lose position number 10 to the current double-time world champion Matt Grant, of course, on the Aprilia last season, this time on the Yamaha in the special debut, and we are yet to have a race victory. A podium has certainly been on the cards, taking the podium last time out into Qatar 2, but this time a race victory would be lovely, but that's a tall order from 17th on the grid up into the pole position, into the winning positions of first place. It's going to be certainly a massive ask. We're now into 7, keeping an eye out on the number 12 ahead of us, our teammate of course, teammate 1 of 2, one of them leading, one of them holding us up in 9th position. But I do feel this lap it should be a little bit better in the terms of a couple of overtakes, because we might not only able to get through on Petrucci, but now maybe Vinales. Is he still holding position? Bit of contact with the Spaniard there, a little bit of a nudge. Rubbing is well and truly racing here on DrAce's channel as Espargaro gets it out of shape. You've seen him just squirming it on the brakes there with that difficult to ride Honda. I do believe his teammate is up there right now as well. I don't actually see Marquez, so I assumed he was up in there in the top 6, but he doesn't seem to be right now, so probably a little bit further behind us, maybe just behind Danilo Petrucci. We're now onto the right hand side. We'll hopefully get into the slipstream of Paul Espargaro. Do we have a chance of making a lunge going into prime area? Are we going to be close enough? Power setting 3 just for a little brief moment. Going into turn 1, is it going to be close enough? Not quite. Still rather tame on the brakes there. Not quite as confident going into the brakes as I was with the Aprilia on board the Yamaha. And what the Yamaha does have though is that superior handling that helped me really so much in Qatar. Both races were very competitive, and I was actually able to have some very solid results. So with the Aprilia, it's kind of struggled a bit when it comes to those really tight corners and even those fast flowing ones. It didn't seem to have the same amount of knack for it as the Yamaha does. But onto the left hand side now, side by side. Do we have a chance of going up on the inside of Paul Espargaro for the change of direction? We certainly do. Up on the inside, slotting the Yamaha right up on the inside of Paul Espargaro's right knee, and we are through going into Samsung for turn 8, for position 8 right now. So into the Craig Jones for turn 9. We are on a fast lap here, ladies and gentlemen. Power setting 3 seems to be working a treat. It's just difficult in such a tight circuit to use power setting 3. I do tend to make a few mistakes along the way as we get too tight to the apex. Right on cue there. Making a mistake is certainly what we've just done. We have lost a little bit of time, but thankfully not that much. Still around 2.9 seconds to Fabio Quartararo. But if you feast your eyes to the top right hand corner of your screen, you'll see that we did have a bit of green up on the right hand side there, so it was indication that we were quicker than our previous lap time and the lap time before, the 1:38.752, but we will still use power setting 3 still a little bit longer, and hopefully we can try and get closer to the riders ahead of us. I probably should have been using power setting 3 a little bit more, but I just lacked a little bit of confidence, to be truly honest with you. I don't find that I do very well here with power setting 3. I tend to used to stick to power setting 2 a little bit more, because the aggression, the acceleration the power setting 3 offers, it just makes it very difficult. But we are closing it now and actually making the move already on Alex Rins. We chuck it to the left hand side, pushing Joan Mir wide. That's not what I actually intended to do. Joan Mir will be absolutely livid about that. He will not be happy. Maybe that's the start of a deep rivalry or something, I don't know, but the former world champion will not approve of that particular lunge. But we'll get on the left hand side, and Pecco Bagnaia, he might be falling foul for the same move I did onto Paul Espargaro, and I think it's going to happen going into Samsung. Can we make the lunge, or is it late lunge? Oh, a bit of contact there though for the Ducati rider. Oh, he's pushed me into wheeling now. Oh, goodness me. That is not what I intended to do. We lost a lot of time there, ladies and gentlemen. We lost a lot of time indeed, as we now go onto the right hand side for 11. Joan Mir positions. Oh, goodness me. More contacts to try and perturb him from getting on through there, as we now push back once more into turn 13 to retake 6th position. Now, a few mistakes there. If we weren't so scrappy, probably wouldn't have lost so much time, but unfortunately it is looking a little bit bleak for us now, as the two Frenchmen are getting further and further away. 3.3 seconds is the gap to Quartararo, and you better believe that Johan Zarco right now is also in 2nd position, which will be his first approach to the podium this season, which is certainly a surprise for Johan Zarco, one of the best riders within MotoGP 21. Of course, our very aggressive rival we've had so many races with and so many battles over the past 2 years, and I think this season is going to be very similar, with Johan Zarco giving it his all the way through, as we flashbacks to the Moto3 race where John McPhee took me out here in Portimao after an incredible race in the Moto3 Championship just a couple of seasons ago within MotoGP 21. But I have just made a little slight change there. I don't know if you caught that, but I've just increased the traction control up to 3, just to be a little bit easier on me, because I'm finding I'm using too much tyre with that traction control on 2. So now hopefully it's up to the 3rd setting. It'll make things a little bit easier. I do find you have to balance electronics on this one. It's something I've tried to pay a little bit more attention to this season rather than last year. I kind of stuck to the same stuff all the time with the Aprilia, but this time trying to change things up, and I've just made an absolute mess of the 11th corner here in Portimao, and I'm really disappointed about that one because we had a great opportunity. As I just noticed, Jack Miller is actually helping us get a potential podium here as he's just messed it up onto the left-hand side for turn 13. Miguel Oliveira looks to be in a bit of trouble here, ladies and gentlemen. He seems to be falling backwards. Maybe the softer option tyres for Miguel Oliveira has certainly backfired for him here today. We've seen it with Pecco Bagnaia last time out in Qatar too. The bad tyre selection can mean an absolute disaster of a race, which looks like it could be something extremely special. But keeping into the rear of Pecco Bagnaia now, are we able to finally break through? Still not quite. It's still not confident enough for using power setting 3 there, because I always find use power setting 3 there, I end up shooting it into Primera just a little bit too strongly. And I guess right now, just got to stay with these 3. Stay with these 3 and we should be fine. As we now go on the right hand side for Lagos, trying to position the Yamaha ahead of the Ducati. Ducati pushing me wide, trying to hold the line, but unfortunately we can't do it. Toto holds the line, but unfortunately we can't seem to do it. We'll now go into the left hand side for the Tour VIP. Keep it into the left hand side, and if you didn't get that reference, that was a 80s song by Toto called Hold the Line, one of my favourite Toto songs if I'm truly honest with you. So we're now going the right hand side after that little bit of a side note. And we now go into Samsung. A podium beckons us, ladies and gentlemen. A podium is beckoning us right now. Left hand side will go for the certainly difficult and innocuous turn 9 as a try and get over the inside. Goodness me, if Miguel Oliveira is going to get clattered. I was not expecting Jack Miller just to park it in the middle of the corner there. So good job we took evasive action, but bleeding hell, we've now gone down further. For the penultimate lap in a moment is going to be an absolutely wild one. Jack Miller is in the position I didn't want him to be. He looked like he was going to be strong, and it looks like if we can't get past Pecco and Miguel, it could be like something as bad as Jack Miller disappearing. It could very well be that bad. So we're now onto the 15th corner, keeping it to the right hand side, using all the power I've got. Change to power setting 3. Fingers crossed we don't mess it up going into the first corner. Maybe I'll drop it down just a little bit earlier rather than waiting all the way to the end. Power setting 3. Oh, messing it up on the brakes there. We're still good. Up on the inside of Oliveira, yes. Up on the inside of the Red Bull KTM. So Miguel Oliveira in 2 laps, or at least a lap and a half, from 3rd place down to 6th. But Oliveira is not giving this one up without a fight. Here in his home track, he's run it deep, and we get the cutback. Beautifully done on the penultimate lap here of the Algarve. So braking going into the Tour VIP. We need everything we could possibly muster up now to beat not only Pecco Bagnaia, but get onto the podium with Jack Miller, or at least replace Jack Miller and get on the podium with my 2 French rivals. So on the right hand side, Pecco Bagnaia's run it slow there, diving over the inside going into Samsung, beautifully manoeuvred, and there we go, up into 4th position. We did a 4th place in Qatar, a 3rd place, a 2nd place actually in Qatar too, and I don't want to do a 4th place here. I'd rather get back into that rhythm and get onto the podium once more. So on the right hand side for Portimao, and now for turn 11, 4/10 of a second separates Jack Miller and us. Left hand side will go. We're going to be strong going into the 13th corner. Miller has a good old look behind him to see where the man on board the Yamaha is, and the Aussie having a glance over at that familiar number 47, the man who's held that 47 to the top spot of the World Championship twice in 2 seasons in his brief moment in MotoGP. You better believe the number 43 is going to be trying to surpass the 47 in the World Championship standings right now and holding us back to make sure we don't get through on the Australian right now. So here it is then, ladies and gentlemen, the end of the penultimate lap and the start of the final lap here in Portimao. So going into Primera for turn 1, we have 1.1, 1.2, a little bit of fuel, and I've made a mess going into turn 1. Oh no, and Pecco's took over. That's your podium battle gone already, ladies and gentlemen. I have just absolutely flummoxed it. I'm so annoyed. I've not made a single mistake going into turn 1 all race until now, when it mattered the most. That is bloody annoying. So power setting 3 to the max. Let's see if we can not only get past Pecco Bagnaia, but let's see if we can attack Jack Miller once more. But tell you what, Bagnaia is doing his teammate a terrific service here right now as we chuck it to the right hand side for 7. Is it a repeat of the previous lap? You bet it is. Up on the inside going into Samsung, and we are now through for that 4th position. And I guess 4th place is the bridesmaid's podium. I guess it's not the end of the world, but I don't think I'm going to be able to chase down Jack Miller now. It's going to have to be absolutely perfect for these next couple of laps, well, excuse me, the next couple of corners, because this is the final lap. So onto the left-hand side, keep it tight, keep it smooth for turn 12. Hopefully Miller makes a mistake. It doesn't look like he is doing. He's holding the line. And unfortunately, I do think that is the end of our podium chances here in Portimao for round 3. We have given it a bloody good go. And don't forget, we did start from 17th place. 17th to place for the 4th place is not that bad, let's be honest. But one thing I will question is I can't understand the fuel in this one because we've only used like 0.2 on this particular lap. I don't understand it, but never mind about that. Quartararo is your Grand Prix winner, Zarco in second, Miller takes third, and Grant just misses out on the podium. What if we didn't make a mistake into turn 1? Well, nonetheless, there is your results on the screen right now for round 3 of the Algarve International Circuit. Fabio Quartararo taking the victory with Johan Zarco and Miller in second and third place respectively. So now a look at the championship standings. Quartararo leads the way with a full 20 points ahead of Matt Grant and 25 clear from the Aussie Jack Miller. Johan Zarco, one of the big movers up today, taking 5 positions ahead and now moving himself into 4th place, 34 points behind fellow compatriot Fabio Quartararo. Now a look at the team championship, and of course Fabio Quartararo's victory and Grant's 4th place is still very solid to move themselves up even higher on the list, or at least maintain the position but take additional points. So 40 points clear from the Ducati Lenovo team, 60 points clear from Suzuki and 62 clear from Pramac Ducati. And finally we'll finish up with the Constructors Championship. The Yamaha still leading the way, but this time just 5 points clear from the Ducati and of course 34 clear from Suzuki. So guys, that is going to be it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.